this is primarily because of elite preference. Now, what is this? Over a period of time, hold of religion is gradually decreasing. It is not that people are completely religious as they were in the past. If you look at the different institutions that we have, for example, education. In the past, maybe you had only religious-based education. But over a period of time, we are all having scientific technical education. If you look at the institution of marriage, previously maybe it was completely on the basis of religious identity. But now, acceptance of interreligious marriages is also there. It is increasing over a period of time. So different institutions that we see around us, they are gradually becoming more secular. The role of religion, the hold of religion in these institutions is going down. That is called secularization. Secularization is taking place. But most of these things is because of elite preference. In any society, you will have different sections. There will be some people who are the elites. Maybe they have more power, maybe they have more resources, maybe they are the wealthiest, maybe they are powerful. So they are the elite. So secularization is happening because the elites want to bring about the change. It is not that there is mass mobilization demanding secularization. It is not that people at the grassroots level are questioning religion and the religious values norms. No. People at the top are deciding that, okay, these things need to change. One example. How did the word secular, or how did all these constitutional norms that we have, right to equality or right to freedom, freedom to practice, profess, propagate religion, come into being in our constitution? Was there a mass mobilization which demanded all these things and all these things were put together and drafted a constitution? No. You had a constituent assembly which had again people who were primarily lawyers, who were trained in universities world over, best of the universities world over. They were progressive, they were way modern as compared to the times. The society was backward, the society was not egalitarian, the society was extremely religious, society had different kind of orthodox values. But these people who were part of the constituent assemblies, they were modern. So they created a constitution which was modern. They created all these things. They said that, okay, we need to have liberty, equality, justice in our constitution. They said that right to equality should be there. They said that, okay, minority interests should be protected. And all these things became part of the constitution. So secularization in India is primarily because elites wanted to have it. This is how the society should look like. It is not because the society demanded for it. If the society demanded for it, it would have been easy to bring about change. But that is not what has happened. You would have seen recent court judgments, right, last couple of years. The court is saying that you should not discriminate against females. The religion should not discriminate against female. Different kinds of discrimination that is there should be eliminated. But what is happening? People are questioning the court judgment. Whatever discrimination is there, people are still continuing with that. Right? Why this is happening? Because there is no legitimacy to this. The elites will say something, the judiciary or the ministers, they will try to create some laws, but the society should accept it. If the society is not accepting it, then how will social change happen? So this is the case here. Gradually change is happening, but primarily because of elites, as a result of which mass scale change has not happened. There is a dual identity among individuals in India. There is coexistence of secularism as well as revivalism. So religions are getting revived, that we saw some time back. People are practicing religion with greater intensity, greater fervor. And at the same time, the constitution talks about secularism. Right? So both exist at the same time. So this is how secularism faces different kind of challenges in the Indian context. And the consequence, you have communal violence, different kinds of cultural symbols are used in politics. State will be using different kind of cultural symbols. Ideally, the state should not be using cultural symbols, right? It should maintain equal distance from everyone. It should equally protect all communities. That has not happened. And again, it is used for vote banks. So secularism in the Indian context faces these kind of challenges, and this is what it has led to. Now the question is, what can be done about some of these things, right? What can be some of the ways by which the challenges that secularism faces can be addressed? Now, see, secularism, right? All the communities, they should be treated equally by the state. But then if you look at the socio-economic development levels, different community socio-economic development levels are different. There are different kinds of discrimination against communities. For example, the Sachar Committee report, right, which was constituted under Supreme Court judge, retired Supreme Court judge, it found out that there are different kinds of discrimination against the Muslim community. So if you are secular, then that should not happen, right? Why is certain community getting discriminated? Maybe it is an explicit discrimination or it is an implicit discrimination, but they are losing out. So there is a suggestion that there should be separate commissions which should look into these allegations of discrimination. They should look at the differential socio-economic development. So independent bodies, commissions should look into these things. Another issue that we have right now is with the understanding of who constitutes minority. Ideally, right, what should be the case? There should be some definition of minority, and then if there is a community which is falling under that criteria as has been defined under the constitution or some legal provisions, they should be given different kinds of benefits. The constitution says that minorities have right to these kind of things. But the constitution nowhere defines what constitutes minority. It does not give you a criteria on the basis of which you can define who is a minority. Now, what is the problem because of this? Different governments will again declare different communities as minority communities, different state governments. And again, it will lead to allegations from the opposition, from other community members that you are treating this particular community in a different manner. You are giving preferential treatment. So the issue here is we do not have any objective criteria on how to define what is a minority, who constitutes a minority. Let's say there are some factors. Your socio-economic development level is this, education level is this, your population is this, something. But we don't have those things. And as a result of which there will be different allegations that appeasement is happening for certain communities. It can be solved if you are having uniform definition, which is not there. Religion should be separated from politics. Now again, there are two ways to look at it. One is maybe there is a group of people who are following a particular religion. And again, they are lagging behind. So among them, maybe political parties emerge, or among them there might be some political candidates which are emerging who are talking about the right of the communities, who are talking about the development of the communities. So this is something which might not be inherently wrong. And if this kind of thing is there in politics, it is not bad. In fact, it is leading to greater representation. It is leading to possibly socio-economic development of community, which will ensure balanced development. But if in politics, you are spreading hatred, you are saying that, okay, this community is like that, they are like that. If you are using religion to divide people, if you are spewing venom, that is something which should not be there. So that is a line which should be drawn, and independent institutions like Election Commission and all, they have a role to play. The judiciary has a role to play. Right? So how religion is used in politics, ideally it should be separated. It should be used in some specific measures. In some specific manners, it should not be used. So that separation needs to be identified, and independent institutions should take a lead here. Religion should, over a period of time, become a private matter. How this can happen? Again, through education, through awareness, through social mobilization, that can happen. Rationality is something which needs to be promoted. So again, this is something which fits into here. So these 3 points are important, right? Education, awareness, all these things can lead to a situation where the hold of religion over people gradually diminishes over a period of time. That way, a part of people identity is right now religion, it will diminish. People will consider each other as human beings, maybe. They will consider each other as Indian citizens, citizens of a state. And religion will be something which is much more private in nature. That can ensure that we have the right kind of society. All these issues that we see, religious conflicts, communal conflicts, can be taken care of. So these are some solutions that can be there to the challenges that we see when it comes to secularism. So if I have to recap, first of all, understand what is secularism. What is the Western model? What is the Indian model? The Western model means The state and religion, they are completely different. The state doesn't interfere into religion. State has no provisions for religion. Indian model, the state says we are equidistant from all religions. We will equally protect all religions. We will not favor one religion at the cost of others. If you look at our constitution, there are so many features which are related to religion. Points to the specific model that we have. Now, is it easy to have this kind of a model? No, not necessarily, right? So we have faced different kind of challenges. But again, why would we have gone for this model? Religion is something which is intrinsic to people's life. In case of India, there are so many religious communities. Western model could be easily adopted in a place where, again, you don't have that much amount of diversity. In case of India, so many diverse elements are there, so many communities are there. When all of a sudden you say religion and state, they're separate, it would have been difficult. So the model that we have adopted is in sync with, again, the society that we have. Now, what are some of the challenges? The society has not changed. Rationality is not there. Mass spread of education is not there. There is dual existence. And all these concepts, secularism, secularization, all these things have come from the top. The elites, right? Those who are the lawyers who are part of the Constituent Assembly, those who are the policy makers, they are deciding it for others. And whenever you have laws to bring about social change, the issue is there is not much legitimacy. Society wants something, law wants something else. It leads to conflicts. So this is what we have witnessed in the Indian context. What can be done? Some of these things are there. So in future, if you are having socio-economic development, in future, if education is there, awareness is there, gradually the hold of religion will decrease. Apart from that, you have to create some institutions, maybe you have to have some of these things, define minority, maybe some of the issues that we have can be taken care of. So now, there are two questions that you have to answer. Religion and communalism, what is the linkage? Communalism, power, relative deprivation, what is the linkage? So this is for you to answer. You have time, take sufficient time. Whatever we have discussed in the class, it should be good enough for you to answer both the questions. The first question is, what is the difference between religiousness and communalism? Right? So think of what is religion. Following someone's religion, that is religiousness. What is communalism? It is different. Communalism means society is getting divided. You might be religious but not communal. And you might be communal and not religious. That can also happen. Religiousness is something which is more individual. Communalism involves society. Religiousness can promote peaceful coexistence. It can promote harmony. It can promote peace. Communalism leads to, again, hatred. What are the factors which causes religiousness? What are the factors which causes communalism? There are differences here. But look at all those things. Communalism arises either due to power struggle or relative deprivation. Argue by giving suitable examples. What are the factors which leads to communalism? Power struggle. How religion is used as vote banks. Think about that. Communalism can arise due to relative deprivation. One community thinks that they are more deprived than others. The third phase of communalism is about that, right? Both communities cannot prosper. One community will prosper, the other will not. Relative deprivation. We are worse off, you are doing well. If you do well, we will be worse off. If we do well, you will be worse off. That sentiment is communalism. So again, third stage of communalism, link it with the topic, right? So you can answer this. So we have like 5 minutes left. In case we have questions, I'll take it up. Veera, can we have an writing analysis session for sociology paper? We'll have it, don't worry. We'll have it, maybe we'll have a video or might be we'll have a live session. We'll try to do that. KRP says, what is the possible definition of minority? Again, maybe it can be on the basis of first the numerical number, I mean relative numbers. On top of that, maybe you can think of socio-economic deprivations, right? Where do you stand as compared to the national averages at education level or income levels, employment levels. Some of these things can be included. Of course, number has to be there. So in case you have any clarification related to things that we talked about, you can always send me a mail. And apart from that, you can always take the help of subject experts. All the readings and other things are already there. Right, so I hope you learned few things. And again, same announcement, tomorrow there is a session. Celebrate the Republic Day in the morning, celebrate the Constitution, and evening when you are coming back, you have to again attend the sessions and celebrate the learning process. Right, we will have the social justice sessions next week. So some of the things from social issues which had overlap with social justice, we will take up next week. I think it is from February 3rd. Right. So again, 6 sessions will be there, and we will wrap up our discussions. Thank you.